This episode was filmed in front of a live studio audience. Oh, hello. I mean, hi there. Wait, no, I can't do it. Let me see if I can get down to the Freddie Boom Boom Washington register. Let me see. Do we have a sweat hog button? Oh, here we go.
Hi there. Oh, man. I like that. What's up, cool cats? I'm DJ Mighty Iris, and I'm a Pisces. Let me take you home.
Okay, I'll stop goofing around. One of these days, I will not have technical difficulties in the studio, I promise. But for now, I have to call someone. You want to know who it is? Okay, I'll tell you. This man knows everyone in Hollywood. He's an actor that's guest starred in many TV shows and movies. He's a well-respected poker player, a Vegas lounge singer at heart. Aww. You know him as Kenny Morituri on the TBS show My Boys, which is currently celebrating its 20th anniversary with a spankin' new nostalgic punch to the nads podcast called Who Needs? He's rewatching each episode of My Boys and reigniting those on-set memories with co-star Jamie Kaler, who played Mike Callahan on the show. Lords and ladies of Gotham, I am now calling Michael Bunin. Hello, Mr. Michael.
Hi, how are you?
I'm better now. Oh my gosh. You know, the technical difficulties really ease the nerves. I kind of like that.
It's always nice working without a net.
Yeah. How did your self-taping go?
I think it went well. I'm not a fan of the self-tape overall. For me, I need to be in the room. I think you get a better idea of exactly what I can bring or what I might be like to work with. So the self-tapes they're hard enough to start with. And in particular, this one's for a commercial. And it's just like, oh my God. They can't tell you to improvise, but they say, and feel free to go back and forth a little bit. It's like, with who? I'm in the scene with nobody. What do you think? Do I just do a monologue? So, the trick is to kind of figure out exactly what you think you might do if they actually hired you in the moment and just try to portray that and then hope that you get picked.
Oh, man, that is crazy. So everything is like self-tape these days.
It's really interesting. I'm much more of a make a choice and let's do it. And then give me a note from the director and we'll go from there. And I'll show you that I can do it a completely different way, maybe, if that makes sense, So in other words, the self-tapes for me, I don't want to do 1,000 takes. I don't want to spend all day editing. I don't want to be a producer and a director and an AD and a PA and everything. I don't want to do all the stuff. I would just want to concentrate on my job, if that makes sense. So I don't want to complain when I get an audition. I'm thrilled to get one.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels a little harder nowadays. I have a friend of mine who years ago, I think she was trying to give me a compliment. But this is my friend. I don't know if you ever heard the name Moon Zappa or not.
Of course.
I've known Moon forever. There's most of the Zappas, all the Zappas out here since I've been out here.
But my God, I'm fangirling out.
Moon one time turned to me and she goes, "You're a slow burn."
Oh my God.
And I was like,
what does that mean?
I think you're saying after the last few years of hanging out, you finally appreciate me or like me. She goes, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Our relationship is to bust chops a little bit, but there's a little truth in comedy. Maybe she was telling the truth, and that's why I think for auditions, maybe I need to be in the room so you can get a sense that, no, my first impression was probably right. He's probably going to be good.
Yeah. Oh my God. Moon Zappa is my Valley Girl muse. I love her. That is so cool that you know her. Wow.
She's awesome. Yes, for me, when I first met her, too, there was a bit of everything I know about being a Valley Girl, I know from you.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And there was this one time I went to see Missing Persons live, and we waited to try and meet Dale after the show. And she, the singer, she told us a story that she once blacked out. She got drunk and woke up on Frank Zappa's, rug, and there was, a bunch of people around. And I don't know, it was just crazy. So forgot all the details.
I can tell you that if you woke up on the floor of the Zappa house, there would definitely be a bunch of people around staring at you. So that does track in my mind.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Michael, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Thank you to Jamie Kaler for hooking us up. That was really nice of him. And nice of you to say yes, too.
Oh, no, gosh, you're kidding. It's nicer of you to ask. Believe me, I don't want to say my dance card isn't that busy, but I'm thrilled that you wanted to talk to me. Let's do it. I'm in.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, first of all, I noticed that you have an AOL email, and that was just a nostalgic punch to my face. So that's amazing. Were you in the chat rooms back in the day?
The first time I went on to an AOL, I was at my friend Ray's house, and he was like, you got to get an account. So I signed up, and I went into some sort of music or movie chat room. I was very quickly like, I don't enjoy this.
Oh.
This is weird. But like everybody else, when you're first trying AOL, you're messing around with everything. So, over the next few weeks, you hopped into another room or whatever, and then you might have had one good movie conversation. And then invariably, there's always somebody that seemed to come in and just start asking, inappropriate questions. So without cameras, without FaceTimes, and the way we do it now, very early on, I was like, I don't even know who I'm talking to. Why am I having a conversation with this thing that's typing back at me?
What was your online handle? Do you remember?
A long time ago, I always used gambling terms. So, like, I'm trying to think. I think I used one called Chooch Bet.
Nice. Chooch Bet.
CHOOCHBET, which it's a long shot. If it pays off, it's going to pay well.
Okay. You want to know what mine was?
Yes, I do.
Mine was Barbarella 311 because I love Duran Duran, and they had a song called Electric Barbarella, so I used that, and then I liked the band 311 at the time, so it was just I put two and two together, and that was my handle. Yeah.
I love all of that, but do you know that Barbarella was a movie? I'm assuming you do.
Oh, yeah, that's where they got their name. Yeah, for sure. I saw the behind the music.
The only reason I ask is because I always assume I'm 1,000 years old at this point, so I always assume that I have some sort of antiquated information that somebody might not have. So I'm glad you knew that. It's an important film.
Oh, yeah, and Welcome Back, Kotter, too. Arnold Horshack was my TV boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah, I loved him.
I love that.
Yeah, he was my crush. To me, John Travolta was the goofy one.
Right. I played poker with Gabe Kaplan later in life.
You did?
A couple of times. Yes. One time at the main event, actually, the World Series of Poker, and another time it was another tournament, I want to say. But very nice guy. I think I went back to Betsy and everybody was like, why isn't Gabe Kaplan playing my father on My Boys?
Oh, my God. Imagine. That would have been so cool. Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, I wish I could have stunt cast that and gotten him to play my dad in something, in anything.
Do you think he would have said yes?
Based on when I pitched it to him at the table, how fast he said yes, I'm going to say he would have said yes if we actually called for it.
Oh, man.
Sometimes you don't want to meet somebody that you've watched on TV as you were a kid or whatever, but he was a super nice guy. I really found him to be genuinely nice and a good poker player for what it's worth.
Wow. Okay, so you had a background in poker.
I do, yes. I used to play 1 to 4 stud was the game. 7-card stud. The bets were $1 to $4 with a quarter bringing on the low card. I started playing at Bally's about 5 days a week in 1989, and about 3 days out of the week I would be in the same game with Red Fox.
Whoa. Like Red Fox, the comedian?
Yes, Red Fox, the comedian. It was unbelievably fun. He was unbelievably cool. He was a terrible poker player. He would walk in the room. He'd be like in a green velvet 3-piece suit with like brown riding boots. And he would walk in and everybody would be, hey, Red. He'd be, hey. He'd say, hey, he never ignored anybody. I never saw him turn down a picture or an autograph or anything. He was like the nicest guy, but he was Red Fox about it. He would come in, he'd sit down, and somebody would bring over a bottle of Crevassier just for him in a glass. And then he had his own Keno runner, and he would play about, 40, 50 tickets per game, and he would sit and play low-limit poker while he was playing heavily on Keno.
Oh, my gosh. So you play Kenny Moratori on My Boys. Do you speak Italian?
I do not speak Italian. I'm like a lot of Italian Americans. I grew up with some phrases. I grew up with some understanding of it. But no, it's interesting. My grandparents came over in their teens. The relatives would come over, and one half of the room would be speaking a language I understood, and the other half would be speaking a language I didn't understand when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
So my mother had an understanding of it, very much so, but unfortunately was kind of lost in that generation, never really completely taught to us. My brothers and I, we took my mother to Italy for a trip. She had never been, none of us had ever been, and we wanted to take her all around the boot. And so we're in a little store somewhere, I want to say in Rome, actually, and there's a dog in the store, and all animals just loved my mother, okay?
Uh-huh.
So the dog is, of course, with my mom, and then we're leaving. We're walking down the little alleyway, and 20 yards back, the dog peeks its head out, and my mother says, Andiamo, vieni qua, vieni qua. And the dog comes running.
Uh-huh.
She turns to me, and she says, oh, my God, Mike, the dog understood me. The dog understands Italian. And I said, yeah, Mom, I think all the dogs in Rome probably understand Italian.
That's why dogs fascinate me, because how do they know? I don't know. I want a dog one day, but that's amazing, though.
I have mine to my left and my neighbors to my right now. I recommend getting a dog. They're the best.
Oh, how cute. So My Boys, unfortunately, got taken off of Prime. How are you guys watching the episodes at the moment?
We are doing a little bit of old school DVDs. We managed to find our DVD set.
Mm-hmm.
We're watching them as we do each episode because we want to take the journey ourselves. And so that's what we're doing right now. We just we go over to Victor's house in the morning where he has the studio set up. We sit, we have coffee, and we watch the episode. And we were watching a deleted scene the other day that I completely forgot we did it all. It took me a minute to remember. So it's so funny because we shot a lot. Many hours, you shoot a lot of stuff that doesn't get in and so on. And so we kind of spark the memories, and then we take notes and we hop into the show and we just go right after.
I love that. So it's fresh.
I do remember one time, everybody looks at a TV show and they think, there's the actors and there's a director and there's probably a guy behind. No, they don't understand there's 200 people surrounding you, right? To make it work, right?
Uh-huh.
And me and Jim, I want to say Jamie and, I think Kyle's in the scene. We're delirious. It's Friday. It's 2 a.m. We're delirious. And we can't get through the scene. And I caught a glimpse of one of the 200 Teamsters that was staring at me. And I stood up and I said, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. This is my fault. For those of you that are waiting to get home to your children, we're going to get this done right now. And we just sat down, got it done, and got out of there.
Oh, my God.
I was like, these people are really nice. I don't think they want to see us goof around for the next 4 hours. We need to get them home.
Aw. Did you read for any other roles besides Kenny, or was it always Kenny for you?
So, interestingly enough, it's always Kenny for me because we were having a dinner with everybody that's been cast after the pilot, and the director of the pilot, Barnett Kellman, stands up and he raises a glass and turns to me and he says, and to the first time I've ever seen the actor it was based on actually book the role. So I played at Betsy Thomas's poker game. We were friends long before the show. We played a poker game at her house for years that My Boys kind of ended up becoming based on. Jamie Kaler's character is based on the actor Neil Flynn, janitor from Scrubs, dad.
Oh, yes. Get Out.
Yes. Our poker game back then would be Betsy and her husband, Adrian, a writer-actor named Jay Tarsis, Nicole Sullivan, who you would know from Mad TV.
Oh, yeah.
There was me. And then there was a few others that rotated in and out as well. The character of PJ is basically Betsy. When I first read the pilot, it said Kenny wearing a New York Yankees hat and a UNLV sweatshirt enters the room. And I was like, oh, well, so far that's my wardrobe.
Nice.
So the writers love to pick little things about each actor and put them in the script. But initially, the character of Kenny was loosely based on who I was at the poker game. I don't want to say my whole life. That wouldn't be true. But I think I was the initial spark for the character.
Yeah. What a cool job for a casting director to have, right? Because it's all on them. Like, they chose these actors and you could have hated each other, but you guys all got along pretty much, right?
Yes. Tracy Lillianfield was our casting director. She's wonderful. And we have, for many years, when we're hanging out, playing golf, going to dinner, whatever we're doing, at each other's weddings, whatever it may be, we always reflect on the idea that Tracy Lillianfield really cast a group of friends almost like she knew we would be friends.
Yeah.
It's really strange. I mean, she really put the personalities together very well. I've been on many a production where people do not get along with each other. That is in most of the jobs that I've probably ever had or witnessed. But My Boys, that was not the case. It really was not. It clicked and it worked. And I'm not saying we reinvented the wheel. I'm saying we took probably what was familiar and we did our own take on it. I think we did it pretty well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This show really made me miss board games. That board game marathon that you guys have in maybe 2 episodes, all the games you played really brought back memories like Candyland, Don't Break the Ice, and one of my favorite episodes, actually. What would you say like your top 3 favorites are?
That's one of them. That's one
cool.
of them because in particular, not only was it extremely fun to play all those games, because we had them on set all the time. The bar was based on a real bar from Chicago called Guthrie's, which had a game wall like that. We are all just board game players. That's what we would do at Betsy's house late at night. The same crews. If we weren't playing poker, we were playing a board game or some sort of a game that we made up. Anything. It's always big game nights. And also, I liked the way Victor Nelly, our director, cut in between the competition and the competition that Jordana was sort of having with her boyfriend about, well, I'm going to keep my friends and so forth. It wasn't written that way in the script that I remember to cut back and forth, and I just thought the cuts added a lot of tension. Every episode was fun to play, but like Martin Mull being on the show was a big deal for me.
Oh, yeah, I love him.
For all of us, especially like the first episode he was on, I had no scenes with him, and I mean, I had grown up watching Martin Mull, so I wanted to meet him, and Jim saw me leaving the set. I was kind of cutting the long way because I wanted to see if I could get a glimpse of Martin. And and Gaffigan goes, "Hey, Bunin, come on over a second. I want you to meet Martin." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's just awesome." So I ran over, and frankly, this is so funny. They were trading jokes, and they put me on the spot. He said, "What's an old joke?" I said, "Well, you've probably heard it." I said the joke, and Martin Mull laughed really hard and said, "I've never heard that one." And frankly, that burned into my memory so hard that I cannot, to this day, I can't remember the joke I told him. I cannot remember the joke I told him.
You know what helps me is when you have a few too many.
I've tried that. And I'm going to keep trying that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's so cool, though. At least you remember his laugh, Clue is one of my favorite movies.
And he's so great. And then the other favorite episodes, because like I said, the character was always fun to play. The writers always gave me so much to do that it's hard to say, what moment is better over the other. But running around Wrigley Field is ridiculous. Being in Chicago and shooting, being able to run the bases, to play catch, to shag balls, to hit, to be in the dugouts, to sit where some of the greatest players in baseball ever sat. So, for a baseball fan, that's the cathedral. That's one of them, When you say favorite episodes, I just kind of think of that episode was lucky because I got to be on Wrigley Field. So that's my favorite episode, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard you and Jamie talk about you guys would drink a lot together. What kind of drunk were you, or are you? Do you still drink? And what kind of drunk were you?
I'm happy and loud.
Ah, cool.
Because to me, drinking always equates to a good time. I never wanted to be the angry drunk. So when I'm angry, I never really have a drink. And my laugh carries is what happens when I'm drinking. And my laugh just gets louder and louder.
Oh my God. I'm a drunk. We need to hang out tomorrow. We need to hang out sometime. I'm that person.
You're that person. I have genuine feelings in the moment, but you're probably not going to want to hang out with everybody, right?
Right. Yeah. I get numbers and I'm like, okay, I didn't think this through,
That's okay though. That means you're a very nice drunk, but you put yourself in positions of, who's calling me?
Exactly. Was karaoke ever a thing you guys did together? And if so, what songs are your go-tos? I love karaoke.
Betsy and her husband and I and a couple of the future writers of My Boys, Moon Zappa and her then husband, Paul Doucette. I'm leaving a lot of names out. There was they would go karaoke all the time at the Brass Monkey on Sundays. And then eventually we switched over to Sardo's on Sundays. We karaoke'd all the time. I cannot sing. Do you have one song you go to, or do you have a few?
Oh, I have a few, yeah.
Give me, what are your few? I want to hear yours.
I try my best to do De Commissar by After the Fire, but I never do it right. Don't turn around. I can't, because it's a lot of rapping that I didn't realize is in there.
And then you got to hit that high note.
Yes. I love doing Ozzy and Lita Ford. I do both parts. I run to one side of the room and do Ozzy's part, the Close My Eyes Forever song.
Yeah. No. I'm going to want to see that. I'm going to want to see you do that.
Well, that's why we need to hang out. And I'm not even drunk. I'm saying that one of these days. If you come to San Antonio, I'll be here and we can go to a karaoke bar. Me, you, Jamie, the whole gang.
We can do that. I'll do Tom Jones' version of Green, Green Grass of Home, which is a little sad song. I'll do Don't Lead Me This Way, Teddy Pendergrass. I'll see if I can get a little support from the room because there's some high notes in there too. and for Dean Martin, I'll do Ain't That a Kick in the Head because I feel like his is the easiest voice for me to impersonate, so I come the closest, sounding like I know what I'm doing with him.
Oh, you like to impersonate. I like doing that too sometimes.
It's easier sometimes. Like I tried to do a Willie Nelson, one time, and it was just like I did a verse with my voice, and then I did a voice impersonating him. I'm like, no, it should just sound like that. Just try to sound like Willie Nelson. Then people will know what you're doing. So yes, sometimes I feel like you have to impersonate.
Yeah, for sure. It makes it fun.
Do you have a regular group that you go with? Are you a show up after work, have your drink, do your one song, and go home person? Oh,
we used to have a group back in the day, but we everyone kind of drifted.
Okay, here's the worst thing. Jamie and I always say this on the podcast. I'll say names. I'm saying names because we're not telling any bad stories. Chris Hardwick. Chris Hardwick will get up in karaoke like Maybe I'm Amazed. And I basically just want to give him the finger and be like, well, I can't sing tonight now. Thanks, Chris.
Do you sing that song?
I can't sing that song. But after
I couldn't.
I don't want to sing any song after that.
Yeah, I hate when people do that. They ruin it for the rest of us bad singers.
Chris Hardwick, really funny, really talented, ruins karaoke for me every time he comes.
Yeah, that's why I love when there's popcorn at a bar, you throw it at them. You're like, this isn't American Idol,
Exactly. It's already bad. It's already bad enough, by the way, that we've fallen for the scam, which is some bar owner going, I don't want to pay for entertainment. Yeah. How about if they just entertain themselves?
There was a time where I hosted karaoke, and I thought it was so funny when the singers, the entitled ones, they would come up and be like, put some reverb on my voice, will you? And I'm like, okay. The ones that are really serious about it, they'll ask for reverb and effects for I think it's the funniest thing ever. And if you do that, I'm so sorry. I think it's funny.
Oh my, no, I don't. I didn't really know it was an option. What I used to do was I used to say, if you can sing along with me and make me sound better, I won't complain.
Oh, that's fun.
I would say that, but you know what? Yes, the karaoke jockey, Luke Adams is his name. He's a really nice guy, really good singer. But I see he's always messing with stuff back there, and I always feel like everybody sounds better on his set. He wants everybody to have a good time, so he must be making us all sound better somehow.
Oh, that's cool. I love Kaler Stewart. I think she is this bright, shining star over the show. Like, she makes me laugh out loud. And Steph and Kenny together are just the best. Are you having her on the podcast at some point?
Yes, we are.
Yay.
100%.
Okay.
She is, Kaler and I used to sit back and watch her on the show. We'd be over and, sitting behind the monitors, and they'd yell cut, and one of us would lean over to the other invariably and go, she's just the best actor on the show, isn't she?
She's fucking great. Oh, my God.
She's so good. Look, everybody on the show, I think, is a really good actor. Don't get me wrong. But let me give some flowers to Kaler here.
Mm-hmm.
She is so talented, so good. Her and I are close friends still. She is the reason that we were able to find out that we might have a little chemistry.
Yeah.
She, in the pilot reading 10 minutes after she got hired, I didn't know her. Like, this is Clay, this is Mike. Hi, nice to meet you. Congrats to you. We sit down, we start reading it, and the line is very simply, she comes in the room and she says, hey, Mike, hey, Kenny. And none of us have a response written in the script, and then she goes into her dialogue. But instead, when she enters the room, so to speak, because it's a table read, she goes, hey, Mike, Kenny. and
With the sass, yes.
I instantly went, mm-hmm. And everybody started writing and jotting notes down.
Oh, my God.
And she's so funny. She's like, I'm so glad that you took that response and weren't thrown off. I'm so glad. And she's like, because honestly, I wasn't exactly sure what my future as a character on this show was. Was I just the best friend we're going to have coffee with every once in a while, or am I part of the group,
Oh.
And, Betsy always intended her to be part of the group. But when she did that, I think she gave the avenue of like, oh, gosh, we have something to play with now. So I try to thank Kaler for that every once in a while, because that gave me so much to do on the show. It really did.
She planted the seed. She made sure that there was a story there. Like, it's insane. She's a genius for doing that.
She really, really is. She is super easy to act with. And I found this with everybody on My Boys, but since we're talking about her, she's always right there. She's making eye contact. She's listening to you. We're just simply in the moment, and she's doing all the basic actor things that some actors forget to do, and that's why everything pays off. Any scene I'm in with her, I know I'm going to look good because she's so good. She makes it easy.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's the funnest experience. Superstore was another fun experience for me.
Yeah, Superstore, yes.
Superstore was another fun experience for me. That was a little bit of a different feel, though, because I came in season 2. I wasn't part of the pilot or part of season 1 at all.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's super nice. I'm freaking out when I meet Mark McKinney because I love the kids in the hall so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to hold it in and just, try and realize I'm also on the call sheet and I have a job to do. I can't just be fanning out on them all day.
Yeah.
That was a good set. But for me, I would watch the cast. I'd be like, oh, yeah, they have that bond that I had at My Boys. And that's what I miss. I miss sort of that from the beginning bond.
Oh, yeah. When I watch podcasts, I'm always happy for people when they get to the endorsements. And I'm like waiting for the day that you guys get yours. Have you thought about what products you might want to endorse for Who Needs?
I've never been good at promoting myself in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
So even for this, we go in, we have our fun, and I'm like, who should we start putting on the table maybe? So I stuck a hat from Gino's East on there because they're my favorite Chicago pizza place. In other words, I'm open to suggestions. Who do you think should be endorsing us?
Maybe a beer would be cool. Some kind of beer company would be neat because it's like Who Needs,
Right.
Pizza's good too. I always thought when celebrities have a podcast, people notice it and they reach out to you. A lot of people do the food delivery service ones like Factor and...
Look, I like to cook. I'm like anything food related, anything booze related, anything gambling and sports related. I'm a Vegas kid. So I think that's the path I'm going to have to try to push on the show. By the way, I love what you said about how, because it's true, they will come find you in certain levels. When we started doing My Boys, I would say to Wardrobe, I'd be like, look, man, I know for a fact that half the cast of SNL, if they want Nikes, they wear Nikes when they're saying goodbye at the end of the show, and then boom, they wake up the next day with Nikes all over the place waiting for them, you know? So this is a long time ago, obviously, and I said, what's the deal? I said, anybody going to give us any kind of like love like that over here? Is there anything I should wear on the show? And Wardrobe was like, just looking at me and smiling, and she very politely said, you're not wrong. It's just you're 2 years too late. They just don't do that anymore. I was like, really? What? She's like, yeah, an actor would wear something they like on TV and know that company's just going to send a bunch their way immediately. And I'm trying to think, it was near the end of season 2, and I got a call from my publicist at the time, and she was like, I got you an E! Entertainment interview, and they want to do it over at the Puma showcase room or whatever, because you used to wear sweatsuits when you played poker for a living, and that's what they want to talk about, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they go, you'll probably get some gear out of it. And I was like, I'm in. So I go, very nice person who did the interview, Megan Tavrisian, if I'm saying it properly, super nice. Talked about what poker players wore, and when I went home, I had like 5 pairs of shoes, 5 sweatsuits. It was the day where I called my brother, and I was like, hey, I know I'm not a celebrity, but I think I got treated like one today. It was amazing.
Yeah. I'm not sure who your managers are, who your team is, but make a list of things you're interested in. I bet they would know like who to reach out to.
Yeah. Since you're the one pushing it for me, make sure you text me one product you want, and I'll throw that on the list.
Okay, cool.
Then I can chuck some gear your way.
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm a size extra goofy.
Fair enough.
So before I let you go, I just wanted to fangirl out over the fact that you know Hank Azaria, because he's the reason I don't sing She Works Hard for the Money the correct way. Because the birdcage.
Fair enough.
He's the reason.
Fair enough.
But that is so cool. How long have you guys known each other?
Met Hank playing poker
at
Betsy's house probably in like 2004 maybe.
And you wanted him to be on the show, right? I think I heard you say that.
We did, yes.
Yeah.
So I was saying, Hank and I became friends pretty quickly after that. He invited me to start playing in his game regularly at his house. If you haven't met him, one of the nicest people you will meet. Sincerely.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, really nice person. Really nice. I was talking to him because, our exec producer, Jamie Kaler, was like, hey, why don't you go ask your buddy Hank if he'll be a love interest for PJ? And I'm like, I will, but he's also your buddy, and you're the exec producer of the show. And she's like, yeah, but you play poker. I was like, okay. So we're playing cards, and Richard Kind is in the game and probably doing something ridiculously funny, and so we're laughing.
Anywhere he isn't, he's everywhere.
Richard is great, by the way.
Wow. You know Richard Kind, too?
I'm one of these weird guys that's just been in Hollywood forever, and I happen to be friends with some people before they were necessarily famous or some after. In my opinion, he's the same person I met in 2004 and have been friends with this whole time. That I can tell you. I mean, generous to a fault and really funny. And so I lean over to him and I go, hey, listen. And he knows it's coming. He goes, what's up? I go, the network wants to stunt cast this a little bit. Will you come be a dating interest for Jordana, like 3 episodes? He goes, who's directing them? I was talking. He goes, yeah, sounds fun. He goes, I mean, I like everybody over there. I go, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. And there's a small pause, and he looks at me, and I know it's coming. He goes, I'm just not going to do it, though. I got to say no. I was like, I get it. I really do. You're incredibly successful. You're very comfortable in your home. You don't want to go over to Paramount and shoot. I get it. He just started laughing. So I think that's why we named Eddie McClintock's character Hank, because initially we were trying to get Hank.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah. Before they got to Hank, Jamie Tarsis had said, she's like, go through your Rolodex. Who's one of your buddies? And I'm like, I have to say, you have double the Rolodex I have, Jamie, but okay. I'm like, you're president of a network at one point. Wow. I don't know why you call. I go, how about if I give Ron Livingston a call? And she goes,
damn.
Network said no. I go, what do you mean the network said no? I go, our show is paired with Sex in the City. He's on Sex in the City.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? She's like, that's the first name we threw out there. And then we said Hank, and they're in love with Hank, so we're going to try for Hank. I was like, this business is ridiculous. You can't follow it. There's no logic. So I just laughed. I was like, no to Ron Livingston, and then yes to Hank. And Hank was like, no. And I was like, boy, now we're in a spot, guys. I'm out.
Man, Rolodex, that needs to make a comeback. I even said that to Jamie Kaler because Richard Marx is in his Rolodex. So I was like, how did you even? Yeah.
He's in my Rolodex, too.
He is? My God.
It's because of Jamie that I met him. But yes, he is in my Rolodex. I'm going to say that.
Oh,
Richard.
My God. I was listening to his first album. It's been in my car CD player all week and last week. And he's just, man, I want to talk to that guy one day.
Can I tell you how awesome Richard Marx is?
Yes, please.
He's literally overseas and fills like some stadiums, some 20,000, right? And then he comes back here and I get a text from him and I'm like, oh God, dang, Richard Marx is texting me. That's kind of cool. And he goes, hey, I know I just filled a stadium overseas, but apparently my manager booked me to play the Grove in LA tomorrow. So come on by and hang out. I'm like, okay. So I go to see him and his opening act doesn't show up. So Richard is told he has no opening act. There's 2,000 people maybe. Richard goes out. He does a 45-minute opening act with just his acoustic guitar.
Wow.
Then he goes backstage for 10 minutes, comes out with his band, does a full hour 45, like 2-hour show.
Oh, my gosh.
And after his first song, he says, hey, everybody, if you have friends that were unable to come to the Grove tonight, I will be playing the food court at the Beverly Center tomorrow. And it gets a really big laugh. He did 110% of his show. Every song, full bore, everything, including the opening act.
Whoa.
Like, he would have had every right to say to his manager, in my opinion, what gig is this? Why are we doing this? Had every right to show up and say, I'm going to give him a good show, but I'm going to do 45 minutes to an hour and go home. He walked in and gave the same show that he does on a tour in front of a big audience. I thought at that moment, I was like, okay, that's just the way you're supposed to do it.
That's a rock star right there. That is so
that's
cool.
That's a rock star. That's exactly right. And I was friendly with him at that point, but that night I was like, the respect levels through the roof. Like as a performer, I was like, good for you. And then to come out and be your own opening act.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great, though.
Cool.
How cool.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for talking to me, Mr. Michael Bunin.
Thank you very much, sincerely, for chatting. I'm so flattered you asked. Thank you so much.
Not at all. My smile is huge when I talk to you and when I talk to Jamie. Like I'm just so happy that you guys are nice enough to talk to me. So, yeah, this is great.
Back at you. We'll do it again or figure out some way to have you on the podcast, something. I have no idea. We should do this again, though.
Oh, man, I have you recorded saying that. I might just replay it.
I know. Listen, I'm a Vegas kid, which means you grow up aware that you don't say anything on the phone that you don't want to be forever. So I knew I was saying it. Yes, we will figure out some way to get you on that show.
Oh, man, that would be incredible.
It's really not hard to figure out. I don't know why I put it that way. It's not like we got to go through 68 reps and figure it out contract-wise and what's your rider. We'll figure it out.
I will definitely wait my turn to be a guest on your show, definitely.
Oh, yay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I hope you feel better. I hope your cough is better.
It will be fine. If not, it adds to the curmudgeousness. I can be complimenting somebody, but then the cough comes in and people are like, I don't know. Did he mean that?
Oh, my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, you never know.
Thank you again very much.
Okay, I'll text you in a bit. We'll keep in touch.
Please. I'll talk to you in a bit.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Love him. I love when famous people are nice. You know what I mean? He was so cool. Oh, I love hearing Hollywood stories. Okay, guys, make sure to watch his new podcast, Who Needs? It's a My Boys rewatch. Episode by episode, they're revealing all. With his co-star, Jamie Kaler, of course. Now streaming on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts.